Hi,
Hey
Tim.
Jerry,
How are you?
I'm really well. How are you?
Good, good. It's so good to see you face to face here.
I know. Much better if we were in person, Jerry, but one day.
Yes, well, next week. I will definitely want to meet you at the show. So I'll try to find
Yes.
you around. But you're on the tour bus. You're out in the world right now. Where are you exactly?
I'm just parked outside of the venue for the show tonight in San Francisco,
Oh,
which I'm very excited about. I mean, we had the show in Los Angeles yesterday, Jerry, and it was magic. I mean, I can't even explain to you how amazing it felt just to be back out there singing to a crowd, having the people sing back to you, seeing so many faces, mind blowing.
that's so great. Yeah, I had interviewed Glenn Power from the script backstage one time, and he was such a nice guy. What a great guy.
They're all really nice. I had the opportunity to work with Danny before touring. Um, we worked together on a song of mine that I wrote for the second album, very, very personal song. And when he had announced his UK dates, I texted him and I was like, Danny, you've got to bring me on these US shows, bro. And then I get a text from my agent saying, oh, the scripts would like you to support them in the US. I was like, well, I guess that friendship was paramount to that to me touring with them. But
Yeah.
what a nice feeling to tour with guys that you feel you're friends with, and this whole thing and this industry is all about having these incredible moments, but having moments with these people that you care about and that you support and that you have a friendship with. I mean, you know,
Mhm.
that's
Makes it
magic, right,
easier.
Jerry?
Yeah, makes it easier. And what have been the challenges with American audiences and trying to get your work out there, and how's that been?
Just how many of you there are. So many people here in America. It's hard to get around everybody. I think that's the thing. I think it's such a huge country that it still blows my mind that you can be driving all night in the tour bus and you're still in the same state. I'm like, how? How is this possible? It takes me 2 hours to get from one side of the UK to the other side of the UK. I think that's the thing. There's just so many people, so hard to get around everybody. Um, when I remember promoing "You Are the Reason" and we were doing a radio tour, and I was doing that radio tour on one song for about 2 months, 3 months. Um, and it's just because it's so vast being in America. I suppose the only thing I can do is keep chipping away at it. I was on Kelly and Ryan to do my performance If You Ever Change Your Mind, and I've been on
Mm.
Ellen and Seth Meyers and Dancing with the Stars, and it's just about keeping on with America. Keeping front and center of people's minds, and the only way I know to do that is just being myself and being sincere and genuine and wearing my heart on my sleeve and talking to people like yourself who's going to spread the word, which I'm entirely grateful for. So yeah, just you got to do the work, Jerry. You got to. It's a hard graft, but you got
I
to do
get
the
it.
work.
Yeah, Leona Lewis came to the gay bar here in Chicago. She came to Sidetrack, and
Oh,
like,
amazing!
yeah, so she's a very big supporter of the community, and
Yeah,
um,
she took me to the Abbey whilst I was in LA a couple of years ago,
oh
and
gosh, I
she's
love that.
worshipped. She's worshipped in there.
Oh yeah, I know. I noticed how she has her gay following. Talk about
Yeah.
yeah, talk about your history. Did you kind of? I know you auditioned for the show, Britain's Got Talent, but did you want to be a singer in your heart or what?
I mean, I started singing when I was about 22, 23. I
Okay.
was a drummer at school, Jerry. So I was quite happy being at the back, thrashing away on a drum kit, nowhere near the front of the stage, not in the limelight at all. And it was my sister who was the singer in the family, and she, I used to go see her at theaters where she would perform, and I would just be like, I'm so like, how are you singing in front of all these people? Like, it just perplexed me. So I tried to like simulate that in my own time, be it in the shower or in my bedroom. And she overheard me one day and she decided to take it upon herself, Jerry, to put me in a karaoke competition. I didn't have very nice words for her at first, I'll be honest. Um, But you know, her forcing me out of my comfort zone was the best thing that could have happened, because I sang in this small pub in back from where I'm from in Yorkshire, and there must have been like 10 people there. And I sang a Paolo Nutini song called Last Request, and was just blown away. Just like that euphoria of just being like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And so that bug just built into this, you know, yearning and passion. And I started trying to figure out what my voice sounded like. I happened across this beautiful piano instrumental version of Dancing on My Own. And I put my vocal down, and I'd show my mum, and she was crying. I showed my sister, she was crying. And I knew I was onto something special with that song. And I auditioned with the show with that, but things didn't really kick off until I released it as a single. And then it just went crazy. All of a sudden, I was signed by Capitol Records. I'd written an album. I was touring it. Insane, Jay. I'm still, like, I'm surprised I'm not bruised throughout my body from the amount of pinching I do on a daily basis. It's ridiculous. Insane.
So how was coming out to your family? I mean, were they always supportive of your sister and your mom? And how was that?
Yeah, everybody was really supportive. I mean, obviously, as a young guy, I was terrified of what people would think and how people would be with me. There's a song on the first album called Only You, which kind of explains and No Matter What as well, which explains my coming out journey. And it wasn't a great one, you know. I trusted in my friends first, and my friends were the ones that abandoned me. I guess we were young; they didn't understand. But it was tough losing all of my friends at once. It was really tough, and you know, thank God for music, which has helped me process it and, you know, let go of that weight. Luckily, my mum was incredibly supportive. All of my family were. You know, and I wanted to, especially with No Matter What, I wanted to write that in a song where you could see both sides of it, you know, because I'm very aware that not everybody has a great time telling their family. Sometimes families can be in the same way that my friends were, where they abandon, they don't understand, and they, you know, what they don't understand scares them, so they push away. And, you know, I wanted to show both sides of that story, because it's been incredibly important, you know, to represent that. And I think, you know, since then, I've had so many people, Jerry, message me about No Matter What. Like, you've helped me come out. You've helped me become comfortable with who I am. You know, I showed my family this song and they all broke down, and now we have you to thank for that. And that for me is success. That, you know, I don't need any nominations or any plaques on the wall. Those messages for me is the definition of success. You know, if you've had such an impact on somebody that has changed their life, I mean, I'm still like incredibly honored to share in that moment with anybody. I mean, the amount of people who have had You Are the Reason as their first dance song is special in itself. But for somebody to say, you've helped change my life, closest thing you can get to magic as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, absolutely. So you'll be singing Robin, you know, in the concert, right? Is that part of the plan? I don't know.
Maybe.
Well, I do want to say
give the people what they want, Jerry. Give the people what they want.
I give them what they want, and I mean, yeah, Robin is such an empowering song. Anyway, your new song, I love. If you ever change your mind, so good. Oh my gosh, how do you tackle that range, you know, vocally and all that?
I mean, I don't know why I keep writing these songs, because I'm going to have no voice left. If You Ever Change Your Mind is a great one, because it's sad in the context of being tethered to, you know, whether it's an ex-lover or a current lover or whatever, having that like inseparable bond that no matter how you try to pull away, that it keeps bringing them back. But because it's been done in this really tasteful way by Greg Kirsten, who was the producer on and writer on Easy on Me with Adele, it just has this like flavor to it and this groove that kind of, it gives it like movement and like it kind of drives home the song in a more positive way, you know. And I think so many people can relate to not being able to sever all the ties of a past relationship. And that was definitely with me, you know, to a point where, you know, I would get a text saying, I miss you. And it would literally yank my heart out of my chest. And so I wrote from, as I do with all my songs, wrote from that really honest place. And it's just been fun, especially with the show last night, to do something that's still very emotional, but have like a rhythm and a mood to it that kind of feels like, feels, I'll be honest, Jerry, nothing excites me more than sad songs and the piano. So it's always nice to do something that's a little bit like more groovy and a little bit more boppy. And you can see people kind of like moving their heads a little bit, kind of gives that point of difference for the live show. It gives that experience and that journey through the songs. And, don't get me wrong, there are ballads on these shows for sure. But yeah, I think If You Ever Change Your Mind it's a really relatable song, but dressed up in a really cool production.
Yeah. How do you take care of your vocal cords and things? How do you do that when you're on the road and all that?
Well, I mean, I love me some red wine, so I've had to like knock that on the head because it's not a little golden syrup that soothes your voice. It dehydrates you, and it's not great for vocals, however delicious it tastes. So I've had to kind of knock that on the head a little bit. I try and work out every day, trying to eat well. I say that I had Korean barbecue last night, so that's not gone to plan. But I just try and warm my vocal cords up. I just try and be sensible. But the problem is with me, as I'm sure you've established on our chats, I love to talk. So it's like I have a hard time shutting up, Jerry. So that's kind of my kryptonite. I should stop talking, but when I'm talking to people like you, how can I not?
I appreciate you taking time out, and I understand some artists won't talk on the road. They're just.
I know some people will walk around with like vocal rest on their shirts, and I'm like, I see that as like a big like don't talk to me, and I'm not that person. I can't help it, so I'm just having to manage myself. So I'm to drink a lot of hot tea and try and work out, try and like warm up properly. So yeah, just trying to practice a bit of discipline, Jerry.
Very good. So tell me about the new music. What can you tell people about the album and the concept of it?
So the new album is kind of a snapshot of time where I'm at right now. I've never felt more comfortable, more confident. I've never felt more Calum Scott than I do right now, I guess. Being the man, the artist, the songwriter, the gay man, all of these things. I think I've just never felt more assured of what I'm doing. And having known what the songs from the first album have done, it's kind of given me that objective and that goal to continue writing this kind of music, because my music is helping people, and it's a huge honor. And it's also now, it's my job is to continue to pull inspiration from my life and from my experiences, because I won't be the first or last person to have lost someone, to have gone through heartbreak, to have fallen in love, to have fallen out of love again. All these things that I've gone through, I'm not the only person that has. So I'm kind of drawing inspiration from all those things, but telling my stories in a way that becomes everybody else's. This album's more confident. It's more. I've definitely had time to think about what it is I want to write. It's just more. I just feel like it's me in a much more elevated, grown level. I feel like this is almost like a coming of age kind of thing. I've kind of settled into my shoes as an artist now, so I'm excited. We've been teasing some music. We've got a little bit more to come before the album, but yeah, I mean, what an amazing time to be alive. We're thankfully coming out of a pandemic. We're still, keeping distance where we can and masks where we can. But then I have fans coming up to me last night, Jerry, when I was trying to get back on the tour bus, and I'm like, how can I not come over and say hello and give you a hug? And people saying to me then, thank you for making the music you make. And I'm like, thank you for listening to it. Without people like those guys listening to the music, this is a hobby, but with them listening and enjoying it and coming out to shows and buying my music, this becomes a career. It's like a dream come true. So yeah, so the new album is exciting, and it's around the corner, and I'm so excited for people to hear it.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear it. I understand the struggle too of being an opener. Like people are there to see the script, so you have to really, you know, really get them
Oh
going.
yeah,
So I try to come out for the openers, and I will definitely be there to support you.
Oh, thank you, Jerry. I mean, it's yeah, it is daunting. You know, they're there to see the script, and it's quite funny because the scripts are like, you know, I've watched this band for years and years and years and followed them and enjoyed their music, and it's kind of, you know, rocky and big vocals and like energy. And then I come on and I'm like, somebody say it's very like ballady and beautiful. But I'm telling you now, if it's anything like it was yesterday, there are moments where I draw it right down to just me and piano. I have a band with me, but draw it back right to me and piano, and you could hear a pin drop last night. It was incredible. So if it's anything to go off, like, I'm so excited for the rest of this tour. So yeah, I mean, even being an opener, it's my honor to be supporting these boys, but I'm just enjoying these shows as if they're my own. I really am. It's incredible.
Yeah. Well, it'll be great for you to come back, as you know, with your album out and as a solo
Right.
act. So that'll be
Yeah.
really cool.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping to announce my own US headline shows very, very soon.
Okay.
So I could be coming back very, very soon. But yeah, I mean, until then, I'm just enjoying playing with the scripts, watching them every night. It's dream come true. Pinching myself again.
Yeah. No more bruises. No more bruises. Okay.
I know, my poor skin. I'm like a peach.
You're like a peach. Have you been to Chicago much? Is this one of the?
I love Chicago. I've been a couple of times on promo and stuff, and done a couple of live shows. I think I was out in Chicago. The last time maybe would have been when I was with Pentatonics in 2018. I love Chicago. I love the vibe. I love the city. I love the people. So I'm looking forward to coming back for sure. Definitely.
And what do you want to tell people about you as an artist? How do you describe yourself, and what do you want to just get out there that's, you know?
I would just say I'm the kind of guy that, you know, after a huge performance of all these beautiful songs that I've had the pleasure of writing with other people, that, you know, speaks to people's hearts, it speaks to their souls, you know, it's stuff that we've all been through, whether it's, you know, a sort of LGBTQ plus journey, whether it's, you know, coming to terms, you know, with who you are, whether it's to do with mental health or losing somebody, or falling in love, all these songs, I feel like I'm still the kind of guy that could come off that show and you could go and have a pint and a packet of crisps with. I'm that kind of guy. Very down to earth, very real. You know, I'm a real person telling real stories to real people, you know, and I think one thing that I want to say is that I'm, you know, that makes me, I feel like makes me relatable. I feel like it takes away all of the sort of the lights and the stage and the, you know, all of the glitz and glamour of the industry. I'm just like everybody else. And I love that I fly that flag, and, you know, because I think that's what people can see, especially now more than ever. People can see through the BS. And I think people feel more connected when they know what they're in for and that it's real. So that's one word I would use, real. I'm a very sensitive boy. So a lot of my music speaks to, you know, people's emotion, and, you know, many times there's people in tears in my shows. But yeah, I mean, the music I make is, I try and be as inclusive as I can for everybody. So there's something for everyone. But yeah, I'm excited to share new music, to perform new music. And yeah, it's this second chapter of my career.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to bring my tissues because I'll maybe cry.
I'm sorry, Gary.
I'm just playing with you. So this is April, you know, you're coming next week, April 7th, right? To the Vic.
Yes.
It's been moved from the Rib, so we need to make sure we tell people it's at the Vic, which is more intimate venue, but, you know, people like Sam Smith played there a long time ago. So, hey, maybe this is going to be, you know.
Who knows? I mean, I'm just, any room. I'll perform on the street corner if I have to.
Okay, a little busking, like.
Yeah, if I could play guitar, I'd busk all day.
Well, great. And there's also a really fun, very inclusive gay bar across the street. So, hey, you know, if you
If I
have
get a
time,
day off, you know where I'm going to be, Jerry. You know where I'm going to be.
Yeah, I brought artists over there actually, like Ollie from Years and Years, and I brought some people over. So
Okay.
an idea.
I may have to visit. I may have to visit.
Okay. Well, where do you want people to follow you and all of that? What's the best way?
So I'm just online. Calum Scott, 1L. It's 1L. My grandma was she was very firm when I was born that she wanted my mum to have 1L in my name. So Calum Scott all across YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, all of it. I'm even on TikTok now, Jerry. That's where I'm at now. I know.
Right,
I'm 33 and I'm finally on TikTok. But yeah, you can find me online. I'd love for you to come and follow my journey and be a part of it. And hopefully I can perform these songs to everybody in person real soon.
Awesome. Well, yes, I will meet you at the show. And I thank you for taking time out and talking today. I know you've in the middle of the tour. So.
My pleasure, Jerry. Thank you so much for your time. And
right.
let me know how I can support on socials and stuff like that when this goes out and show that love back.
Okay, perfect. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jerry.
Yeah.
See you soon.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
You can hear me.
Thanks, Lisa.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Bye, Jerry.
Thank you. Bye. Thanks.
Take care.
Okay. Bye.